Hey everyone, and welcome back to News for Insomniac, where we discuss comics, movies, games, and more. And I want to stress this from the very beginning before I get into this video, because we got quite a bit to talk about here, and it's regarding a fellow YouTuber and also Twitter user, Caboose. You may know him as like this big time YouTuber who does everything from Marvel stuff to, all Marvel games, Insomniacs, and whatever. He's a big time YouTuber, just constantly sucking on the chode of Insomniac games. Now, here on my channel, I want to stress this as well. I try not to bring a lot of drama to my channel because I don't really like drama. And that's why I barely make these kinds of videos. But this man, or should I call him a coward, needs to be addressed because the guy cannot handle proper discourse. He cannot handle a conversation between me and some other people. And mind you, I have the Twitter snapshots, and this took place over the course of 4 hours. In the end, he ended up blocking me like a coward that he is. Anyway, I have it pulled up right here. So let's go ahead and get into it. Now, it starts off here. You can see that I'm unable to view the post because, he blocked me. That's to be expected with these high status YouTube content creators, because, what better way than to like get rid of somebody or get someone out of your conversation than to block them, right? Because that's always an answer. Well, honestly, Caboose, if you're watching this, which I don't know if you will, because I'm nowhere near your status as when it comes to that. I'm not a content creator of your caliber, but I can still see your tweets in private mode. Also, I can just log into my other account and look at your tweets anyways. So it doesn't matter, but that's okay, because I have those bitches screenshotted in 4K and I have it right here. So that way you can get the full context of this whole situation. All right, so here it starts off, and I'll read it to you right here actually. So the tweet starts off with Aaron saying, "Not that it wasn't already extremely obvious, but wow, the comment section on my latest video is as much as confirmation as anyone would need about how completely cooked the internet is. It's becoming exhausting to cover games that I'm extremely excited about. So much negativity." You know what, Aaron Caboose, I can totally understand where you're coming from when it comes to so much negativity, because honestly, it's not really that much of a good feeling when somebody needs to like rip on you for getting excited for something that you really are excited about, right? I get it. But sometimes when you blindly look at things like that, meaning you don't dig in to see the full context as to why people are acting this way, you kind of look like an ass. And not being able to, I guess, have proper discourse with these people, instead you just easily dismiss them like they're garbage, instead of having a proper conversation with them. And we're gonna get into those details in just a sec. And then the person by Next Genre responds with, "All right, so I am probably gonna go get cooked in my replies, but now don't get me wrong, and Insomniac is the GOAT of Marvel games, not disputing that. But the fact of the matter is everyone makes mistakes, and sometimes you have to accept them instead of trying to defend them all the time." So I get it, If you've been watching my channel, then you would know that I like certain companies, I like certain game studios, right? But I am not afraid to call out their BS when it has to be done. Like, for example, Insomniac Games, great studio, happy PlayStation bought them, but they had kind of a stinker just recently with Marvel Spider-Man 2. It's not a bad game, it's a good game, I like it, but there are flaws with it. When it comes to the story, the first one is superior to the second, pun intended, by the way. Still, that's pretty much it. My criticisms of Marvel Spider-Man 2 is that I had hoped we had more Venom in the game. I had hoped we had spent more time with Venom as a character in the game, and I feel like his story and his evolution was completely rushed. He was only in like the last, if not even quarter of the game. And that's pretty much it. That was my only gripe with it. And also some of the writing, which is evidently clear, it comes from Sweet Baby Inc.'s consultation. And you probably have an idea how I feel about that company and what they've done to the gaming industry as of late. Let me show you an example real quick before we continue on reading these tweets. So just to give you an idea, here's Sweet Baby Inc.'s profile, their website, right? Now, they're a corporation that consults in these gaming studios, and they give their ideas, and they insert woke politics and propaganda into these games. It's part of the reason why a couple of studios like Mimi's, a German gaming developing studio, and I can't remember the other company that shut down. What was it? Oh yeah, Surgeon Studios shut down in the first place. Now, I'm not gonna say that it's Sweet Baby Inc.'s complete fault for them shutting down, but because of them inserting their woke politics and being the way that they are, well, I can say that they've added on to their downfall. Now, let me show you something else. Just to give you an idea, folks, these are the people who are consulting your favorite game studios who are making your favorite games. And these are the kind of people that we're dealing with here. This is from Asmongold Clips. And Asmongold is a big time YouTuber, great YouTuber who has really based, criticisms. And the guy is on point with everything he's saying. But this is the perfect clip. And this is the thing that you need to see. The kind of people that work at Sweet Baby Inc. and how they treat game developer studios, from threatening them to do what they ask to being racists by not hiring any white individuals. Like, I can go on for long, but I don't want to make this video too long, but we're dealing with a bunch of woke psychopaths at this studio, and they're going around to your favorite game studios who are making your favorite games and inserting their woke propaganda in these games. Let's take a look here, shall we?
Proudly explains the method that she uses to force bosses at game studios to censor.
This is what we're dealing with.
Game projects she feels are problematic, terrify them, aka threaten them with the anger of the cancel culture mob.
Is that any way to do business? Is that professionalism from a CEO? What CEO does that?
Let's listen to what's said.
If you're a creative working late, which I did for many years.
You ever look at somebody and you're like, yeah, I can tell this person's like a total whack job. They just have that look. Look at this person right here.
Up to your higher ups. And if they don't see the value you're asking for when you ask for consultants, when you ask for research, go have a coffee with your marketing team and just terrify them with the possibility of what's going to happen if they don't give you what you want.
Asphincter says what? What?
I can imagine her sitting there with a cup of coffee like this, smiling. It's like, hey, listen, if you don't do what we ask, there's gonna be carnage. Okay, you will feel my wrath. Okay, we will go out of our way to paint your buildings in red blood. We will cancel you as best as we can, and we will accuse you of being something that you're really not. Can you imagine that? But she says it with a straight smile. Let's continue.
Right. And so let me explain really what that terror is. 5 tweets that go viral, and then nobody actually cares after that. And I'll give some examples for that. So number 1, Final Fantasy 16 was criticized tremendously because it didn't have representation of different races, and the game was massively successful. Another example is Hogwarts Legacy. Like, based off of the
another successful game, but no inner workings, no implementation of Sweet Baby's inks is detected. And by the way, speaking of Sweet Baby ink detected, there's an actual plugin that you can put in your Steam where you can find games where Sweet Baby ink is, involvement has been detected, right? Just letting you know.
That was online, probably was like half the game killing gay people. It has to be, right? But whenever you play the game, you know that's not the case. And on top of that, it was the best-selling game last year. It sold like 20 million copies. So
how I don't have a copy of Hogwarts Legacy is beyond me. Like, I have, Ghost of Tsushima and Hades and some other games there, but I don't have this game, and I've been wanting to get this game. I have Elden Ring too, but I didn't get this game yet, and I want to get it.
So if they're trying to terrify these media and these marketing teams, cancel culture mobs and people getting angry on Twitter don't mean anything. It's just completely vapid garbage. It's vapid hot air.
There's like a genuine value that you can press upon them, both ethically and financially. You could say that this is important. And
that's right. If any of you think about making a comment in this video right now and say, oh, it's great though, and Suicide Squad, that's not an accurate count about the player base, you're more delusional than I thought. You're as blind as a bat flying through the air during the day. You're damn fools. Anyway, let's continue with Caboose. So the second tweet, or at least the second clip here, the second page that I have here, it says, well, I said, merging with Sweet Baby Inc., although I can argue they probably forced Insomniac Games' hand. As evident and clear from Sweet Baby Inc.'s wonderful CEO, have a coffee with them, threaten them, warn them about what's going to happen, pretty much threaten them, right? I can say that wholeheartedly 100% that I stand by that statement only because of what the CEO of Sweet Baby Inc. just said in that video. And the reason why I say that is because if you play Marvel Spider-Man 1 and Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales, none of that woke propaganda, none of that LGBTQ is nowhere to be found. Neither is it mentioned in those games at all. Sweet Baby Inc.'s involvement is evidently clear and obviously in Marvel Spider-Man 2. Had they not been involved, I promise you, Insomniac Games wouldn't have done this. They wouldn't have inserted those things. Oh, Ronnie, you're just upset that there's LGBTQ representation and stuff like that. No, the fact is that I feel like I'm a total baby being forced to eat my asparagus. Hey, if you've forced Christianity, veganism, I would have felt the exact same way. The point is that games are a form of entertainment. It's a media of entertainment, okay? We don't want politics in our games. I don't care what it is. If I want politics, I'll turn on CNN or Fox News, and they put out garbage on TV. Aaron Caboose continues and he says, link me with the press release for the supposed merger. And I said, it's not a merger. And I said maybe merger is the wrong word, which it probably is, but they did serve as a story consultant, which is why I thought the writing and some of the dialogue were a bit weird and just not as good as the first game. And this way before I found out, this is way before I found out Sweet Baby Inc. was involved heavily in this game. You know, before, when I was playing Marvel Spider-Man 2, I had this feeling like, man, something doesn't feel right about this game. It's just, the writing's just not solid. It's not there. Gameplay, however, with the new parry mechanic, which I had trouble with using, by the way, is so much better. Graphics, they look a little bit better. They look improved as well. And traversal system is so much better. Gameplay-wise, it's an amazing game. It's an overall improvement. It is a much better game when it comes to gameplay. Story-wise, it's just not there for me. It's not the best story. If I had to give it a decent rating, I'd give it like about a 7.5 out of 10. Honestly, I will. Yeah, it may not align with the rating that I gave in my initial review of the game, but I've decided to recant that and just say, you know what, I changed my mind and I'm allowed to do that. Yes, you can call me out saying, well, you totally gave it a different, well, you know what, I'm calling myself out. Yes, I gave it a different rating in my initial review. Well, you know what, with all this, after processing this a little bit more and playing the game more, which I haven't, honestly, I have not been playing Marvel Spider-Man 2 often because it doesn't have that replay factor right there for me. Not like the first one where I was able to easily play that game as much as I want. It's just, retrospectively now, looking back, it's not as good as the first one. It's not. And that's the truth, and that's how I feel, and I'm not afraid to admit that. The second, and then the next tweet, Aaron Caboose posts reviews, scores of the games like Alan Wake, which is on Sweet Baby Inc.'s page, God of War Ragnarok, which is also on Sweet Baby Inc.'s page, and Marvel Spider-Man 2. Because I shared the fact that, Sweet Baby Inc. had something to do with the quality of the games, his response, which was a terrible and poor response, by the way, is to post review scores of the game.
Hey, pal. You just blowing from Stupid Town?
This doesn't exactly win your argument. Not that I'm trying to win an argument. All I'm doing is just having a discourse with Caboose. That's all I'm doing. I'm just talking to him. All I'm doing is responding. This is a very poor way to try to win an argument if you were even trying, Caboose. The point of this conversation wasn't for me to try to win an argument. It was just to have a conversation. That's it. Anyway, moving on. I said, Aaron, showing me game reviews and scores isn't going to change anything about how I feel, and I won't deny those scores. In the end, I do feel the first Spider-Man game is superior to the second. However, I don't think the second game is awful either, which I thought I made that clear. But for clarity's sakes, I'm going to say it anyway. I think it's a solid game, just like I said it here. It's a solid game, and I'm glad it did well in sales. But Sweet Baby Inc. is really tarnishing the game industry and causing nothing but harm. Have you seen some of the interviews from these psychos that work there? They're racists. I'm at work right now, and I'll send you the links to these interviews when I have the chance. And I was at work when I was having this conversation with him on Twitter today. I couldn't respond really quickly, but when I got off, that's when things started to get a little heated between me and him. And then he responds with and accuses me. He goes, please do not indulge me in your obsession with this consulting company. I'm providing you examples of highly successful games that were part of a show of proof that it isn't a game's death sentence to utilize consultants. If you're not looking forward to games involving them, please just don't play them. Let us have fun.
Shut the fuck up. You're a fucking cunt. Shut the fuck up. You're a stupid cunt. Suck my dick.
Yes, the classic, if you don't like it, don't watch us, don't play us. God, has that worked out well for any other corporation?
Sexism in gaming. In joining G4, every time G4 is brought up in various channels, even in this YouTube channel, we have the chat in front of us. I can see you. Without a doubt, there will be backlash because I'm not as bangable as the previous host.
Correct!
If you don't like it, don't watch it. If you don't like it, don't watch it. Don't watch it. Peace.
You see, that is such an edgy, immature, horrible response, especially coming from someone's caliber such as Caboose, who has almost 1 million subscribers. I think he does have 1 million, I don't remember. But still, he has hundreds of thousands of subscribers. This is not the right way to handle something like that. Like, if you don't like it, don't play it. Does the mother know that I've played Marvel Spider-Man 2 and also beaten the game? And then somebody else chimes in and says, guys, the big game studios made a lot of money on the game, so the game has no flaws and clearly it's GOTY material, which I love the material. This is basically poking fun at Caboose. Just because something made so much money doesn't make it objectively good, okay? Taylor Swift, one of the most biggest pop stars in the world, if not the biggest one, who is a billionaire at this point, makes trash music. Honestly, it's okay to like something that's objectively garbage, but you can't just come in there and just tell me, hey, the music is good because it sells a lot. No, it doesn't make it good. We're allowed to have these things called opinions. They're called criticisms, for God's sakes. And then Caboose says, guys, I have zero reading comprehension and will single out one of the several metrics provided to me about why these games are successful because I have no foundation to a counter argument that isn't Twitter. I respond with, you look pretty stupid right now, dude, with a clown emoji. And he got no likes from that response because he was being sarcastic because, you know, to this guy's response, he made that comment. You know, he was being sarcastic in case he didn't catch on. And then he says, elaborate on how.
Jesus Christ, the kid's an idiot.
And I'm like, simply read everything we've been saying back to yourself and do it carefully. That's all I said. And he goes, so you actually have nothing to elaborate on and you're just hurling insults as a last-ditch effort. Got it.
Shut the fuck up. Stop being a fucking cunt. Shut the fuck up. Nobody even wants you here.
Last I checked, I didn't hurl any insults to you. If me saying you look pretty stupid right now is an insult to you, my God, I can only imagine, well, actually I don't have to imagine what it's like for somebody just to say, hey, you're an idiot, I disagree. Are you really that offended because somebody told you look pretty stupid right now? I'm sure, and I'm 150% certain that you've come across comments towards you, people telling you that you are, you know, this and that, and you're, you know, insert awful word here. I'm 150% certain you've heard worse. But if you can't handle somebody calling you, like telling you that you look stupid, not calling you stupid, you look stupid, then you are a pussy, dude. Like seriously, you are. So my response, since I can't see the original tweet on the page, I'm gonna go to my snapshot here. It says, it's odd that you would accuse me of being obsessed with Sweet Baby Inc. when I've never made a single video about them. I may have mentioned them in passing in an old video, but the video was not about them. Just letting you know, by the way. I am a content creator on YouTube like you, although I don't have as many subscribers. I've never mentioned a game's death sentence, which I didn't. I said Sweet Baby Inc.'s involvement can be detrimental to a game developing studio. If not, it's already been proven that it has been detrimental to them. Moving on. And it's detrimental to both major and indie game studios, which, again, I gave you 2 examples. 2 game studios recently just shut down, which has already been proven. It's a poor attitude to dismiss my criticism or disagreement by simply saying don't play them. We are having an open dialogue here. It's surprising to hear that from a content creator of your caliber. In the past, when big figures or major gaming studios have told us not to play or watch something, it hasn't worked out for them. Caboose, I didn't expect our first interaction to go this way, but it seems you're not mature enough to handle it. I expected better from you, man. I was hoping to collect collaborate with you someday as well. You're just being completely dismissive. Is this how you treat people who don't agree with you at all? I was respectful, and I am allowed to challenge anybody, and that includes you. And then somebody says, you know, I'll give it to you straight, since you think I'm incapable, the game is good, the gameplay is better than the first for sure, but the story was lacking in some areas, and the lack of content after they had so much for the first has felt left fans sour, and this is the stuff you ignore, which is a perfectly good, amazing comment. It's an amazing, legit criticism. That is true. I back that 100%. I'm not backing that because like I support this guy or whatever. It's just that he's speaking the truth. And the fact that Caboose is ridiculing people like this, who challenge him, who tell him, hey, I don't agree with you, it is ridiculous. It's so immature. And then Aaron says, Spider-Man 2 didn't announce a DLC campaign before launch like the first game. I want DLC for it more than anybody, but I understand that we are not allowed, we're not owed it as it wasn't promised. Yeah, we're not owed it, but there's nothing wrong with wanting that. Like, is there really a problem with it? As long as you're not toxic about it, I think it's okay for wanting more content. That means that, you know, gamers, or in this case, customers, are happy that, you know, and they want more from you guys being Insomniac Games. They want more from them. That's it. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing toxic about that response either. And then Josh's response is, Aaron, please be real. I understand that you love the game, but that's fine. But there are flaws. Okay, and then my response to that, like, you know, chiming off of what I just said, they're allowed to want more content for it, because we actually have been telling you overall the game is a good game, but it has its flaws. That's what we've been trying to tell you, but you don't want to understand because it's like you said, you have reading comprehension problems. That's a simple thing called criticism, but no, you want to continue to suck on Insomniac's chode instead of reading carefully and having a proper conversation with us. You see, I said Insomniac's chode, you know, suck on their chode because, you know, I was just being silly, whatever. It's just like, I'm not really like, yeah, it sounds a little insulting, but I don't really hate the guy. I'm just having a disagreement with him. Could I have used better language, or could I have said something else? Sure, but it's really not that bad. It's kind of quite tame, honestly, in my opinion. And then lastly, he says, so you actually have nothing to elaborate on, and you're just hurling insults as a last-ditch effort. And I respond with, I insulted you, saying you're looking pretty stupid right now, and continuing to suck on Insomniac's chode isn't all that serious or even that insulting, my guy. If anything, it's pretty tame compared to actual insults. I'm still talking to you, last I checked. Look, man, I don't hate you or even know you enough to hate you, but when you act like someone who's being dismissive to what people are telling you, and you start talking down to them because their opinions don't align with yours, that's when you look like a total jerk. Be real, not everyone is going to be agreeing with you, neither is everyone going to like what you like, but the point we're trying to make here is this: we can like anything but still be critical about it, point out its flaws, and that's it. How you're coming across from my perspective, oh, you hate this game because it has flaws, that's all. Hate to break it to you, Caboose, but we're people too, and that's the truth. You know, honestly, in this world, there's absolutely nothing perfect. Even the things that I like, I may have a few things that I want to say here and there about it. But in the end, that's what makes us human. We're allowed to, you know, give criticism. And in the end, giving opinions and giving criticism only makes your experience, or in this case, products, better. That's it. We live in a world where we can't handle criticisms or take opinions. You know, when if anything, it's to help each other. That's all. That's the point of me making this video. It's because it was just a simple disagreement and we're just having a conversation. And in the end of the day, he ends up blocking me. That's it. I don't care if he blocked me.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Great. If he wants to block me, cool. It's a real shame though. I was kind of looking forward to talking to him, but after seeing a couple of his videos and everything like that, the guy is a total cringe. Like, it's a total cringe fest in that channel. And he just doesn't come across as someone who's like real. That's just me. I don't think I'm ever going to be at his caliber when it comes to like getting partnerships like that or whatever, because it seems like all these studios want are people just to speak positively and not be completely honest. And you know what? Aaron Caboose is going to continue sucking their chodes. That's it. By kissing their ass and sucking their chodes and giving nothing but positive reviews and just glazing over everything that they come out with. That is not an honest way of living. It is not. And I'm not somebody who's going to do that. Like, I have my integrity to uphold. You're only going to get nothing but real, like, honest opinions and honest feedback from me. And that's it. So if you can't handle that, I'm sorry, man. I'm really sorry. Anyways, guys, thank you all so much for watching. I know it was a bit of a long one. As always, guys, thank you so much. And make sure you like, comment, subscribe. And I do not condone any harassment or anything like that. So do not bother Caboose. Do not harass him. Don't come to his channel or his Twitter account in my defense or anything like that. Don't do that. Just leave the guy alone. Don't bother him. Whatever. He doesn't need any bullying or anything like that. All right, guys. As always, thanks for watching again, and I'll see you all in the next comment panel.